So
Okay.
Tony.
All right. Not much with planets this month. Saturn and Mars are sinking in the southwest. In Jupiter, you can see briefly before sunrise. But other real important things are happening. Not again. Yes. Another supermoon. So this one goes between Sunday night, that's when the moon's closest to the Earth at 8:38 our time, and exactly 22 hours later, as the moon is rising on Monday, is the full moon. So now here's the big deal, okay? When the moon's closest to the Earth, it's 14% larger than, or it looks 14% larger than when it's at its farthest point, its apogee from Earth, so perigee and apogee. And that ratio of sizes is exactly the same as a quarter and a nickel. So if you view those from 7.5 feet away, that's how big the dramatic supermoon looks compared to, well, we'll tell you more about the other name we have in mind about 6 months from now.
Yeah, look for a press release, right?
Yeah. Autumn will occur on the 22nd on Sunday at 7:29 in the evening. And this is how it would look at noon when it's crossing the meridian and crossing the equator. Okay. And then again, the close approach of this asteroid, it's 2014 RC, we won't really be able to see it from here. It's happening during the daytime and it's far in the south. But that doesn't mean other people can't see it. And because other people can see it, they can stream it live on the web. So if you want to watch this is on the 7th. This is around 11, 12 noon our time. But it will be carried live on something called the Virtual Space Telescope and also the Slough Observatory. I don't expect you to remember those. Therefore, I didn't make a sign saying those. But if you just look for live coverage of asteroid flyby, you'll find it. Okay. And then there are a couple comets that are of binocular visibility. Well, I mean, there's one of binocular visibility that's nice from here. This is Comet Jacques. It's going through the constellation Cygnus. If you subscribe to my Twitter, Sky Report
You
Twitter,
have to get it in there every time.
Yeah, actually I've been putting links to nice charts and things that people are putting with this. And finally, there's another comet that's only visible in the far southern hemisphere. Here's the Small Magellanic Cloud and the the globular cluster 47 Tucani, and right above it we see that curved comet. This is Comet Siding Spring, which in October will pass by Mars. And will cause a lot of excitement with the orbiters there and maybe even a neat sight for the landers there.
There was a time a year ago when there was a possibility it might crash in. By our measurements, we thought there was some possibility that it might crash into Mars, but that's been negated. It's not going to crash in.
Yes.
So with that,
When Mars goes through the comet, the tail in the comet, what's that going to be for meteorites and meteors? And I mean, is that going to light up Mars?
There's a possibility. I mean, some theorists have said, it'll be if you were on the surface of Mars, you'd see 5 million meteors an hour, which far exceeds any known meteor shower on Earth. And there is a real chance that orbiting spacecraft may be damaged by dust.
5 billion meteors an hour, you should see that flare from the Earth.
Well, it depends how bright they are. I mean, the meteor, we don't know how big the dust particles are and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've never seen Mars go through the tail of a comet before and observed it with telescopes from the ground. So I think this will be the great thing. Is we always say this, especially with comets. You don't want to make a prediction. It's going to be fabulous, and then everyone looks and it's not. Now, we've done it the other way too. I remember we thought the comet SL9 going into Jupiter was going to be a dud, and then it turned out to be amazing. So you just have to watch and see.
Now later this month, also the MAVEN Mars orbiter and the Indian Mars orbiter will get into orbit around Mars, and they will actually be in position so that Mars will kind of shield them while this
There
is
was
going
a
by.
story about 2 months ago that their slight adjustments are being made to some of the orbits of these orbiters so that they will be on the far side when the pass happens. So do our best. Yeah.
Will the rovers be able to see any meteorite trails, assuming there are any?
You know, maybe actually, if you know,
We happen to
David,
have someone from JPL here.
yeah, all I know is I have seen that on the websites, they have been taking long time exposures of stars and stuff like they're practicing for that. So maybe.